I only love you, Harry. To hide our relationship from the world and make you mine, I even married that fool Noah. He doesn't even know the child he's carrying isn't mine. Noah heard every word his husband, Liam, spoke to his adopted brother, while the sounds of their intimacy filled the room. Welcome back to BL Story Heaven. Without wasting your precious time, let's begin the story. That night, Noah woke up thirsty. He reached for the water jar on the bedside table, only to find it empty. With one hand cradling his pregnant belly and the other holding the jar, he walked slowly toward the kitchen. As he passed the next room, soft moans drifted through the slightly ajar door. At first, he paid them little attention, but then he heard it. The low, husky voice of his own alpha husband, Liam. Noah froze. He had thought Liam was still at the office, working late on his latest project. His mind refused to believe it, yet his heart pounded with dread. He edged closer to the door. Through the narrow gap, the sight that met his eyes made his legs buckle. He stumbled backward, clutching the wall for support. There on the bed was Liam, kissing Harry passionately, their bodies entwined in intimacy. Harry, his own adopted brother. Liam's voice came clearly through the open door, thick with desire. I only love you, Harry. To hide our relationship from the world and make you truly mine, I even convinced my parents to adopt you. And I married that fool Noah. Harry's breathless voice followed, laced with uncertainty. Then what about his child, Liam? You told me you only love me. So why is he carrying your baby? Liam laughed, a cruel, satisfied sound that filled the room. You fool. Can't you see everything I've done for you? What child? The baby he's carrying isn't even mine. Noah's world tilted. Liam continued, voice dripping with smugness. That idiot never realized that the night he thought he slept with me, it was actually a stranger. I planned it perfectly. I got him drunk until he could barely see straight, then left the hotel room unlocked. I hired some random alpha to go in and sleep with him. I paid the bastard in advance, but he never came back for the rest of the money. When I returned to the room the next morning, I saw someone leaving. I didn't know who it was, but I was thrilled my plan had worked. I slipped inside while Noah was still unconscious, took off my clothes, and lay beside him so he'd believe I was the one who had been with him. The fool never suspected a thing. Noah's mind went blank. Tears streamed down his face as he pressed both hands protectively over his belly. Still holding the water jar in one trembling hand, he turned and stumbled back to his own room. He locked the door behind him, sank to the floor, and began to sob quietly, shielding his child with both arms. He couldn't believe it. The man he had loved for 2 years, the man he had devoted his entire life to, even leaving his own mother behind for, had betrayed him so completely. And all of it, just to be with Harry. Noah placed both palms gently on his swollen belly. Baby, no matter who your real father is, you are part of me now. I will protect you, and I will make them pay for everything. A small kick answered from within, as if the baby understood. Noah wiped his tears, stood up, and sat on the edge of the bed. He picked up his phone and dialed the first number. Hello, Mom. His mother's voice came through, urgent and worried. Noah, my child? Why does your voice sound like that? Have you been crying? Hearing her familiar warmth broke something inside him, but he steadied himself. It's the last time I'll cry, Mom. Don't worry. I've decided to come home and inherit the company just like you wanted. You were right all along. I shouldn't have blindly trusted my emotions. You tried to stop me so many times, but I didn't listen. I left you alone. But now I've come to my senses. I'll be back in 5 days. His mother's voice softened with relief. It's all yours, my child. Just come home. I'll be waiting. After ending the call, Noah dialed another number, this one belonging to a private detective. Mr. Conan, I have a job for you. Investigate my husband Liam and his adopted brother Harry. I want everything, every single detail, no matter how small. Don't leave anything out. Yes, Mr. Noah. We'll provide a complete report. Just send the appropriate payment. I will. Noah ended the call and rested both hands on his belly again. Baby, shall we give your fake father a special gift at our second wedding anniversary party? I can't wait to see the look on his face. The next 4 days passed in a blur of preparations for the anniversary celebration. Noah watched Liam and Harry openly exchange affectionate glances, yet he revealed nothing. Words alone would never be enough. He needed something far more devastating. Liam continued to play the perfect, devoted husband. Each night he sat beside Noah, gently touching his belly and murmuring how he couldn't wait for their baby to arrive. Noah pretended to sleep, eyes closed, while Liam slipped out of bed and disappeared into Harry's room. On the evening before the anniversary party, during family dinner, Noah deliberately reached for Liam's hand in front of everyone. "Liam, tomorrow is our second wedding anniversary. What gift are you preparing for me?" Liam squeezed his hand, smiling sweetly. "My darling, you know I love you the most. The gift is a surprise, you'll find out tomorrow." Noah returned the smile, though it felt like poison on his lips. "I've prepared a special gift for you too, Liam. You'll definitely be surprised when you see it. I can't wait for tomorrow." Liam pulled him into a warm hug. "I can't wait either, my love." Noah rested his head on Liam's shoulder, hiding the cold determination in his eyes. Tomorrow everything would end. The morning of the second wedding anniversary dawned bright and mocking, sunlight streaming through the curtains like it had no idea the world was about to crack open. Noah stood in front of the full-length mirror in their bedroom, smoothing down the soft fabric of his tailored white suit. It hugged his pregnant belly just enough to accentuate it. Elegant, vulnerable, impossible to ignore. He placed both hands over the swell, feeling another gentle kick. "Today's the day, little one," he whispered. "Your fake father gets his gift." Downstairs, the house buzzed with preparations. Guests would arrive by evening, family, business associates, a few close friends who still believed in the perfect picture Liam painted. Tables were set with crystal and roses, champagne chilled, a massive tiered cake waiting in the kitchen. Everything screamed celebration. Liam appeared behind Noah in the reflection, wrapping his arms around him from behind. His chin rested on Noah's shoulder, lips brushing his neck in a practiced show of devotion. "You look beautiful, darling," Liam murmured, one hand sliding down to cradle Noah's belly. "Our baby is going to make this night perfect." Noah forced a soft smile, leaning back into the embrace just enough to sell it. Inside, bile rose. He could still hear Liam's laugh from that night, the casual cruelty of, "That fool didn't even realize." "I can't wait to see your surprise gift," Noah said sweetly, turning in Liam's arms to face him. "You said it would shock me." Liam's eyes flickered with something smug, quickly masked by affection. "Oh, it will. Trust me." Noah's own smile sharpened, just a fraction. "I have one for you too. Something you'll never forget." They descended the stairs together, playing the perfect couple. Harry was already there, looking polished and innocent in a dark suit, helping direct the staff. When their eyes met, Harry gave a small, secret smile. Liam's smile mirrored back at him. Noah pretended not to notice. As the evening wore on, guests filled the grand hall. Toasts were made. Laughter echoed. Liam never left Noah's side for long, hand possessive on his lower back, whispering sweet nothings that made Noah's skin crawl. Then came the moment. The lights dimmed slightly for the gift exchange. Liam stepped forward first, clapping his hands for attention. "Everyone," he announced, voice warm and charming. "Tonight marks 2 incredible years with the love of my life. Noah has given me everything. His heart, his trust, and soon, our child." Polite applause. Noah stood beside him, serene. Liam turned to Noah, pulling out a small velvet box. "My gift to you, darling." Inside was a diamond stud watch, stunning, expensive, meaningless. Noah accepted it with a grateful kiss on Liam's cheek, murmuring thanks loud enough for the room to hear. Then it was Noah's turn. He stepped to the small podium, microphone in hand. The room quieted. "Liam," Noah began, voice steady, almost tender. "You've given me so much too. 2 years of marriage, a home, promises, and tonight, I want to return the favor with complete honesty." The projector screen flickered to life behind him, arranged earlier by the discreet team he'd hired. Slide 1. A montage of old hotel security footage clips, time-stamped across months and years. Liam and Harry entering the same luxury hotel room together, again and again. Liam's hand possessive on Harry's lower back in one frame, stolen kisses in the hallway in another, leaving together at dawn in several more. The pattern was undeniable. Not a one-time slip, but a long, repeated secret life. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Noah continued calmly. This was your routine, your real marriage. Long before and long after you put a ring on my finger. Liam's face drained of color. Noah. This is old. Edited out of context. Slide 2. Fresh, time-stamped photos from this very morning. Hours before the party. Liam and Harry in their shared secret bedroom. Tangled in sheets. Bodies pressed close in the soft dawn light. Harry's head on Liam's chest. Liam's arm wrapped around him possessively. Lips still swollen from recent kisses. The images screamed freshness. Tousled hair, discarded clothes from the night before. The glow of lovers who had just connected again today. The room erupted. Shocked whispers turned to outright cries. Liam's mother covered her mouth in horror. Harry's face went white, eyes darting to the exit. Liam lunged forward, voice cracking. This is insane. What do you think you are doing? You are destroying everything, Noah. Our love, our happy family. Noah cut him off, soft but lethal. I'm not destroying. I'm exposing. Exposing the truth you have hidden. Exposing the plan you have made. Detective Conan sends his regards. Every detail. Every late-night text. Every secret meeting. The adoption wasn't family love. It was your cover. Noah reached into a folder on the podium and pulled out a thick set of papers. Divorce documents. Already signed in his neat handwriting on every required line. Noah stepped down from the podium, walking straight to Liam. In front of the stunned guests, family, and Harry, he held out the papers. Sign them. He placed the signed divorce papers directly into Liam's trembling hands, the finality of the moment hanging heavy in the air. Folk of security enter through the door, hired by Liam's mother. They moved Noah aside and stand firm, like they were protecting him. Liam stared at the documents and the security in awe. Harry looked ready to bolt. Noah looked straight at Liam one last time, eyes cold. Happy anniversary, darling. Here's your gift. The truth, and your freedom from me. Noah walked out, head high, one hand on his belly. The baby kicked again, strong, reassuring. Outside, under the stars, Noah's mother waited in the car. She stepped out, pulling him into a fierce hug. You did it, my child. Noah exhaled, tears finally falling. But they were different now. Cleansing. Let's go home, Mom. Me, the baby, and our future. As the car pulled away, the sounds of chaos faded behind them. Liam's world had shattered in one night. And Noah? He was finally free. The days after the anniversary party blurred into a quiet, healing rhythm at his mother's sprawling estate on the outskirts of the city. The house smelled of fresh jasmine from the garden, home-cooked meals, and the faint lavender scent his mother always kept in the linens. For the first time in years, Noah slept without the weight of pretense pressing on his chest. One bright morning, exactly 1 week after he'd walked out of that shattered celebration, Noah sat at the breakfast table across from his mother. Sunlight poured through the French windows, catching on the porcelain teacups and the curve of his 7-month belly as he carefully buttered a slice of toast. Mom, he said quietly, setting the knife down. I've decided to go to the office starting tomorrow. His mother paused mid-sip of her coffee, eyebrows lifting in gentle concern. She set the cup down with deliberate care. Noah, my child, you're in your 7th month. The doctor said rest, light activity only. The company isn't going anywhere. You've only just come back. Let your body and your heart settle first. Noah placed both hands over his belly, feeling the baby shift lazily, as if listening. I know what the doctor said, but sitting here all day, it gives me too much time to think about everything that happened. I need to move to build something again. The company is mine now, ours. I want to feel useful, not just waiting. His mother studied him for a long moment. The lines around her eyes softened, a mix of pride and worry. You're stubborn, just like your father was, she said with a small, resigned smile. And just like me, when I was carrying you. She sighed, reaching across the table to squeeze his hand. Fine, but promise me. No late nights, no skipping meals, and if you feel even a little dizzy or tired, you come straight home. Driver will take you, and I'll have lunch sent to the office every day. Noah's lips curved into his first real, unforced smile in weeks. Promise. She nodded, though her eyes still held that protective glint. Then go show them who really runs this place now. The next morning, Noah stepped into the sleek glass building of Horizon Enterprises, his mother's empire, now officially under his control again. Heads turned as he walked through the lobby, the quiet ripple of surprise and respect following him. His white shirt stretched slightly over his belly, sleeves rolled to the elbows, a quiet confidence in his stride despite the visible pregnancy. He didn't waste time on fanfare. Within hours he was in his office, formerly his mother's, now his, reviewing reports, signing approvals, and quietly correcting small inefficiencies that had crept in during his absence. The staff watched in awe as he handled meetings with calm precision, asked sharp questions, and remembered names and details from years ago. The week passed in a steady, grounding rhythm. Mornings at the office, afternoons handling strategy from home when fatigue crept in, evenings spent talking softly to his unborn child while his mother fussed over herbal teas and foot soaks. He felt the baby respond more strongly every day, kicks that felt like tiny affirmations. We're okay. We're building something new. Then came the Monday board meeting that changed everything. The conference room was packed. Senior executives, department heads, and a few key investors on video call. The agenda item was simple on paper: major infrastructure development tender, City Metro Extension Phase 3. But the numbers on the slide made hearts race. Estimated project value, $1,200 crores. The project director announced. High visibility, government-backed, long-term prestige contract. Bidding closes in 3 weeks. We've already submitted our preliminary proposal. A junior analyst raised a hand. Sir, there's strong competition. Multiple consortia are in the race, including Apex Constructions. The room stilled. Apex Constructions. Liam's company. Noah's fingers tightened around his pen, but his face remained calm, almost serene. Go on, he said quietly. The analyst swallowed. Liam Hargrove is personally leading their pitch. Word is they're pulling every favor, undercutting margins, and leveraging old political connections. They're positioning themselves as the frontrunner. A murmur rippled around the table. Noah leaned back in his chair, one hand resting protectively on his belly. The baby gave a firm kick, as if sensing the shift in the air. He looked up, voice steady and clear. Then we fight for it. Eyes turned to him. Not just compete, Noah continued. We win. Horizon built half the city's skyline before Apex even existed. We have better engineers, cleaner records, and most importantly, we actually care about the people who'll use this metro every day. He met each gaze around the table. Pull every resource. Revisit our proposal tonight. I want cost optimizations, sustainability upgrades, and community impact projections that make theirs look dated. No shortcuts. No games. We win this on merit. The room exhaled, then nodded, energized. As the meeting adjourned, his mother, watching quietly from the corner seat she'd insisted on attending, caught his eye. She gave a small, proud nod. Later, alone in his office, Noah stood by the window overlooking the city. The skyline glittered, half of it built by his family's hands. He touched his belly again. We're not just surviving anymore, little one, he whispered. We're taking back what's ours. And if Liam wants to fight, let him come. The baby kicked hard once, twice like agreement. And to win this war, Noah decided to join Gain investment firm Nightfall Investment. He worked for a whole week to prepare all the datas for the meeting with Mr. Nickfall. After 1 week in the boardroom on the 42nd floor of Nightfall Tower smelled of polished mahogany, fresh coffee, and the faint metallic tang of ambition. Floor-to-ceiling windows framed the glittering city skyline. The very metro lines they were all fighting over snaking through it like silver veins. Noah sat straight-backed at the long conference table, hands folded over the file in front of him. Across from him sat Alexander Nightfall, Alpha Alex to the business world CEO of Nightfall Investments, the silent money behind half the megaprojects in the country. Tall, broad-shouldered, dark hair swept back, eyes the color of storm clouds before rain. He exuded the kind of quiet dominance that made rooms fall silent without him saying a word. Noah had prepared for weeks. Charts, projections, sustainability metrics, community impact studies. Everything Horizon could offer to outshine Apex. He needed Nightfall's deep pockets and reputation to tip the scales against Liam. The presentation ended. Silence stretched. Alex leaned back in his chair, fingers steepled, studying Noah with an unreadable expression. "Impressive work, Mr. Noah," he finally said, voice low and measured. "Clean numbers. Ethical angles. You clearly know your city." Noah allowed himself a small nod. "Thank you. We're not just bidding to win, we're bidding to build something that lasts." Alex's gaze flicked briefly to Noah's rounded belly, then back to his face. Something flickered in those storm-gray eyes. Curiosity? Respect? It was gone before Noah could name it. "But I've already decided," Alex continued. "I'm joining hands with Apex Constructions." The words landed like a slap. Noah's breath caught. He felt the baby shift sharply, as if startled too. "Apex?" Noah repeated, voice steady despite the sudden tightness in his chest. "Liam Hargrove's company." Alex inclined his head once. "Correct." Noah stared at him for a long beat. Then slowly he leaned forward. "I've heard a great deal about you, Mr. Nightfall. They say you're ruthless in business but brutally honest. That you investigate every potential partner down to their last tax receipt. That you never back anyone without knowing exactly who they are." A ghost of a smirk touched Alex's lips. "Flattery won't change my decision." "It's not flattery," Noah said quietly. "It's disappointment. Because if that reputation is true, then you didn't do your homework this time." The smirk deepened, but Alex's eyes narrowed slightly. "Careful, Mr. Noah." Noah didn't flinch. "I'm not here to beg. I'm here to offer you the better deal. Financially, ethically, long-term. But if you're choosing Apex because Liam's promises look shinier on paper, then maybe the rumors about your standards were exaggerated." Alex's smirk faded into something colder. "I choose partners based on one thing, profit. Maximum return, minimum risk. Apex is offering aggressive margins and faster timelines. Your proposal is noble, but nobility doesn't pay dividends." Noah exhaled through his nose, temper carefully leashed. He slid the thick file across the polished table. "Everything is in there, updated projections, risk assessments, third-party audits. Read it. If you have second thoughts, my number is on the cover." Noah pushed back his chair and stood. The sudden shift in weight, 7 months of pregnancy, fatigue from the long week, adrenaline crash, made the room tilt. His foot caught the edge of the chair leg. He stumbled forward. Strong hands caught him instantly, one arm banded around his waist, the other bracing his shoulder. Alex was suddenly very close. Close enough that Noah could smell cedarwood cologne and the faint warmth of alpha pheromones, steady and grounding. For a heartbeat, neither moved. Noah's hands instinctively went to his belly, protective. Alex's grip was firm but careful, as though he'd caught something fragile and irreplaceable. Their eyes locked. Time stretched thin. Something passed between them, electric, unnamed, impossible to ignore. Not lust, not quite recognition. Just a pull. Like two magnets finally close enough to feel the field. Noah straightened first, cheeks warming despite himself. "I'm fine," he said, voice quieter than intended. Alex didn't release him immediately. His gaze dropped to where his hand still rested against Noah's side. Then back up. "You should sit," Alex said low. "I said I'm fine." A beat. Then Alex slowly let go, stepping back, but the air between them still hummed. Noah smoothed his shirt, gathered his dignity like scattered papers. "Thank you for your time, Mr. Nightfall." He turned to leave. "Mr. Noah." Noah paused at the door, glancing back. Alex was still standing where he'd caught him, file now in his hand, thumb brushing the edge like he was testing its weight. "I'll read it," Alex said simply. No promises, no apologies. Just those storm-gray eyes holding Noah's for 1 second longer than necessary. Noah nodded once. Then he walked out, heart pounding harder than it had any right to. Behind him, Alex opened the file. And for the first time in years, the ruthless investor felt something shift. Something that had nothing to do with profit margins. The sting of Alex Nightfall's rejection lingered like smoke in Noah's mind for the rest of that day. He returned to the office, buried himself in revisions, and spent the evening with his mother reviewing every line of the proposal again, searching for the one angle that could sway a man who claimed to care only about profit. But by morning, resolve had hardened into action. The next day, Noah decided. He wouldn't let Apex or Liam claim this victory without a fight. Nightfall Investments was still the key. Alex might have said no once, but Noah had learned the hard way that no could be temporary if you refused to accept it. He called ahead for an unscheduled meeting, citing urgent new data that directly impacts your projected returns. To his surprise and quiet relief, the assistant slotted him in for late afternoon. Noah arrived at Nightfall Tower early, dressed in a sharp charcoal suit that accommodated his 7-month belly without hiding it. The building loomed sleek and imposing, all glass and steel, a monument to calculated power. As the elevator ascended to the executive floor, Noah rested one hand on his abdomen, feeling the baby's steady kicks, like encouragement. We're doing this together, he thought. For us, for everything we've lost and everything we'll build. The receptionist led him to a private conference room with that same panoramic view of the city. Noah set his updated file on the table and waited. Minutes later, the door opened. Alex Nightfall entered alone. No entourage, no pretense. He wore a tailored black suit that emphasized his broad shoulders and long strides, storm gray eyes locking onto Noah the moment he crossed the threshold. There was no surprise in his expression, only that same unreadable intensity from before. Mr. Noah, Alex said, voice low and even as he took the seat opposite. You don't accept defeat easily. Noah met his gaze without flinching. I don't accept it at all when the stakes are this high. Not for me. Not for the city. And certainly not when I know there's a better path. He slid the revised file forward thicker now, with fresh appendices on risk mitigation, accelerated timelines without cutting corners, and projected ROI figures that edged out Apex's aggressive and suspiciously optimistic numbers. I've incorporated third-party validations and stress-tested every variable, Noah said. This isn't just noble, it's profitable. More than Apex can deliver without shortcuts that will bite everyone later. Alex opened the file but didn't look down immediately. His eyes stayed on Noah, studying the determined set of his jaw, the protective curve of his hand over his belly, the quiet fire that hadn't been dimmed by rejection. A faint something stirred again in the air between them. Unspoken, electric. Noah felt it too. A warmth in his chest, a subtle pull toward the alpha across the table. He told himself it was adrenaline, nothing more. But his pulse betrayed him. Alex finally glanced at the pages, flipping slowly. You've been busy, he murmured. I have a child to raise, Noah replied softly, and a legacy to protect. I won't let personal grudges or anyone else's stand in the way of doing what's right. Alex's gaze lifted again, sharper now. And if I still choose Apex? Noah leaned forward slightly. Then you're choosing short-term gains over long-term stability. And I think we both know you're smarter than that. Silence stretched, charged, heavy. Alex closed the file with deliberate care. I'll review it thoroughly tonight, he said. No promises. Noah nodded, rising carefully this time, no stumbles. But as he turned to leave, Alex spoke again. Mr. Noah. He paused. Next time you come here, Alex said, voice quieter, bring more than numbers. Bring why this matters to you. Their eyes held for a beat too long. Noah felt that pull again, stronger, undeniable. He gave a small, almost imperceptible nod. Then he walked out, heart racing, wondering if Alex felt it too. And somewhere deep inside, the baby kicked, as if answering for both of them. Alex Nightfall sat alone at his massive desk. The revised proposal file from Noah opened before him under the warm glow of a single desk lamp. He'd intended to skim it, confirm his initial rejection, but page after page drew him in deeper. The numbers were sharp, the projections conservative yet aggressive where it counted. Sustainability metrics weren't window dressing. They were baked into cost savings over the project lifecycle. Risk assessments anticipated delays Liam's team would gloss over. Community impact clauses protected vulnerable neighborhoods Apex would bulldoze without a second thought. Alex leaned back, a rare, genuine amusement curving his lips. This Omega thinks like me, he thought. Not sentimentally, pragmatically. Ruthlessly efficient, yet unwilling to sacrifice long-term value for quick wins. Few people in this cutthroat game bothered with that balance. Most chased the flashiest margins, damn the fallout. He closed the file slowly, fingers lingering on the cover where Noah's name was embossed in neat silver lettering. Interesting, he murmured to the empty room. He picked up the internal phone. Ryan, he said when his secretary answered on the first ring. Alex paid well for 24/7 availability. I need a deep dive. Liam Hargrove and Apex Constructions. Full background. Financials, partnerships, any whispers of irregularities. And cross-reference with Noah, Horizon Enterprises' new head. See if there's any personal connection between them. Marriage, divorce, anything public or buried. A brief pause. On it, sir. Priority, immediate. Report by tomorrow evening. Alex hung up, leaned back, and closed his eyes. The image of Noah in the conference room resurfaced unbidden. The determined set of his jaw, the protective hand over his swollen belly, the quiet fire in his eyes when he'd said, "My personal life has nothing to do with this." Noah, Alex whispered into the darkness, tasting the name like a secret. Interesting. 2 days later, Ryan knocked once and entered, a thick dossier in hand. Alex gestured to the chair opposite. Talk. Ryan opened the file. First, the personal. Noah was married to Liam Hargrove for 2 years. Public facade of a perfect couple. Anniversary parties, joint appearances. But 2 weeks ago, explosive public divorce. Noah outed Liam's long-term affair with his adopted brother, Harry. Hotel footage, intimate photos, morning of the anniversary shots went viral in certain circles. Noah handed Liam signed papers in front of family and guests. Brutal. Clean break. Noah reclaimed his mother's company shares the same day. Alex's expression didn't change, but his fingers tightened imperceptibly on the armrest. Business side. Apex is aggressive, very aggressive. Bidding margins are razor thin, almost unsustainable without adjustments. Our sources indicate irregularities. Bid rigging in at least 2 prior tenders, overbilling on subcontractors, suspected kickbacks to local officials for fast-tracking approvals. Nothing concrete enough for court yet, but patterns match classic construction corruption playbook. Collusive tendering, inflated costs passed to public funds, quality skimped to pocket the difference. If they win this metro phase, expect delays, cost overruns, and eventual safety issues. Horizon's bid is cleaner. Higher upfront but lower lifecycle cost, better transparency. Alex absorbed it all in silence. Then, they're using the same playbook Liam used in his personal life. Deception. Shortcuts. Discard when inconvenient. Ryan nodded. Exactly. Alex stood, walking to the window overlooking the city lights. Call Noah. Tell him Nightfall Investments is partnering with Horizon on the metro tender. Full investment backing, joint bid submission. Schedule a meeting tomorrow morning, my office, to finalize and sign the contract. Ryan made a note. Any message for him? Alex turned, a faint, predatory smile touching his lips. Tell him, I read the file, and I like the way he thinks. The next morning arrived crisp and clear, the city already humming with early traffic as Noah made his way to Nightfall Tower once more. He had dressed simply but elegantly. A soft navy maternity blazer over a white shirt, trousers tailored to accommodate his growing belly. The drive had been smooth, but the combination of early wake-up, lingering pregnancy fatigue, and the quiet adrenaline of this alliance left him feeling heavier than usual. Still, he walked into the lobby with his head high, the signed contract folder tucked securely under his arm. The receptionist smiled politely. Mr. Nightfall is finishing a call. He asked that you wait in his private conference room, same one as before. He won't be long. Noah nodded his thanks and followed the assistant down the familiar corridor. The conference room was quiet, sunlight slanting across the long table and the city view beyond. He set the folder down, lowered himself carefully into one of the plush chairs near the window, and exhaled. Just a few minutes, he told himself, resting his head back against the cushion. The baby's been restless all night, probably excited too. His eyelids grew heavy almost immediately. The warmth of the sun, the low hum of the building's ventilation, the gentle rocking motion of his own breathing. It all pulled him under. He didn't hear the door open. Alex stepped inside, phone still in hand from the call he'd just ended. He paused mid-stride. Noah was asleep, head tilted slightly to the side, lips parted just enough to soften his usually guarded expression. One hand rested protectively over the swell of his belly, fingers splayed like a shield even in sleep. Strands of hair had fallen across his forehead, catching the light, turning them golden at the edges. His chest rose and fell in slow, even rhythm, peaceful in a way Alex had never seen him before. Alex felt something tighten in his chest. He had seen beauty before, polished, calculated, expensive. This was different, raw, vulnerable, utterly mesmerizing. He crossed the room quietly, stopping a few feet away. His gaze traced the curve of Noah's cheek, the faint shadows under his eyes from too many sleepless nights, the gentle roundness of his pregnancy that somehow made him look both fragile and unbreakable at once. Alex's hand lifted almost of its own accord, drawn toward the swell of Noah's belly, curious, protective, aching to feel the life that kicked so fiercely whenever Noah spoke of the future. He froze inches away. No, he thought, fingers curling into a fist. Not yet. Not like this. He lowered his hand and instead pulled out the chair opposite Noah's, quietly, carefully, and sat. Minutes passed. Alex simply watched, elbows on the table, chin resting on steepled fingers. He didn't move, didn't speak, just let the moment stretch, memorizing the quiet rise and fall, the way Noah's lashes fluttered occasionally as if dreaming. Eventually, Noah stirred. His eyes opened slowly, blinking against the light. Then they widened as they landed on Alex sitting directly across from him, watching with that unreadable storm gray intensity. Noah jerked upright, hand flying to his mouth. "Oh God, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to." Alex raised a hand, calm. "Don't apologize. You looked like you needed the rest." Noah flushed, smoothing his blazer self-consciously. The pregnancy. It drains me faster these days. I should have stood up, paced, something." Alex stood, walked to the sideboard, and poured a glass of cool water from the pitcher. He brought it over and placed it gently in front of Noah. "Drink," he said simply. "Then we'll sign." Noah accepted the glass with a small, grateful nod. He took a few sips, steadying himself. They moved to the contract. Alex had already reviewed every clause. The pen moved smoothly across the pages, his bold signature beside Noah's careful one. The final page clicked shut like the sealing of a promise. Alex leaned back, studying Noah again. "Mr. Noah," he said quietly, "you didn't have to come here today. Not in your condition. From now on, for any further discussions, site visits, revisions, I'll come to your office. Or your home if that's easier. You shouldn't be traveling across the city like this." Noah blinked, surprised. Thank you. But I can manage." "I know you can," Alex cut in, voice low but firm. "That doesn't mean you should have to. Let's meet again at your place next time. Horizon headquarters. Or wherever you're most comfortable." Noah searched his face for a moment, then gave a small, almost shy smile. "All right. Thank you, Alex." The use of his first name hung between them, soft, deliberate. Alex felt it land somewhere deep. They stood. Noah gathered his copy of the contract. Alex walked him to the door. As Noah stepped into the elevator, their eyes met one last time through the closing doors. Neither spoke, but the air thrummed. That night, in two separate parts of the city, two minds refused to quiet. Noah lay in his childhood bedroom at his mother's estate, one hand cradling his belly as the baby settled into slow, contented rolls. Moonlight slipped through the curtains, painting silver stripes across the sheets. He closed his eyes and saw storm-gray eyes watching him sleep. Felt again the ghost of a hand that had almost touched him. Heard that low voice saying, "I'll come to you." His cheeks warmed. His heart beat a little too fast. "It's just gratitude," he told himself. "Just business." But when sleep finally claimed him, it was Alex's name on his lips, whispered, unbidden. Across the city, in the dark silence of his penthouse, Alex stood at the floor-to-ceiling window, glass of whiskey untouched in his hand. The skyline glittered below, indifferent. He closed his eyes, and there was Noah. Sleeping, peaceful, beautiful in a way that had nothing to do with power or money. The curve of his belly, The quiet strength. The way he'd said, "Thank you, Alex," like it meant something more. Alex exhaled slowly. Interesting, he thought again. But this time the word carried weight. He set the glass down untouched, walked to his bed, and let the darkness take him. Both men drifted into sleep with the same thought echoing in the quiet spaces of their minds. Him. Horizon Enterprises, Noah's office. A few days after the contract signing. The first follow-up meeting was meant to be quick. Finalizing media strategy, reviewing journalist leaks about Apex's irregularities, aligning timelines for the tender submission deadline. Noah sat at the low coffee table in his office suite, papers spread out, laptop open. Alex arrived precisely on time, jacket off, sleeves rolled, carrying only his tablet. They sat side by side on the sofa, closer than necessary, but the table was small and the documents needed to be reviewed together. They worked in focused silence at first. Then it happened. Noah reached for the same page Alex was pointing at. Their fingers brushed, barely a graze, knuckle against knuckle. Both froze for half a second. Noah pulled back first, murmuring a quick sorry. Cheeks faintly pink. Alex didn't apologize. He just looked at their hands for a beat longer than necessary before continuing as if nothing had happened. But something had. Over the next hour, it kept happening. Small, unavoidable collisions. Shoulders bumping when they leaned over the same spreadsheet. Alex's forearm brushing Noah's when he passed a pen. Their knees pressing together under the low table when they shifted to get comfortable. Each touch sent a quiet spark through Alex. He told himself it was nothing. Just proximity. Pregnancy made Noah move slower, more carefully. The sofa was narrow. Logical. But logic didn't explain why Alex found himself lingering after the official discussion ended. "Did you eat lunch?" Alex asked suddenly. Noah blinked. "I had a salad earlier." "Not enough." Alex stood. "I'll have something sent up. You're carrying two now." Noah opened his mouth to protest, then closed it with a small, surprised smile. "You don't have to." "I want to." Alex made the call himself. 30 minutes later, a light but nutritious spread arrived. Grilled chicken salad, fresh fruit, yogurt parfait, herbal tea. They ate together on the sofa, talking less about the tender and more about everything else. Noah spoke softly about the baby's latest habits. Kicking hardest at 3 a.m. Loving when Noah played soft piano through headphones on his belly. Alex listened. Really listened. And every time Noah absently rubbed his belly while talking, Alex's gaze followed the motion. He wanted badly to replace Noah's hand with his own. To feel those kicks again. To be the one soothing, protecting, claiming that tiny life and the man carrying it. The realization hit him quietly but irrevocably during that first extended afternoon together. This wasn't admiration anymore. This wasn't respect for a brilliant mind or a survivor. He wanted Noah. Wanted to touch him, not just accidentally, not just politely. Wanted to run his hands over that beautiful, rounded belly and feel the life inside respond to him. Wanted to hold Noah when the pregnancy exhaustion hit, to kiss the tired lines from his eyes, to be the alpha who stood between him and the world that had already hurt him once. He wanted Noah in every way, body, heart, future. And the baby? That child Noah guarded so fiercely? Alex wanted him too. Not as a replacement or a consolation prize. As family. 1 week later, same office, longer meeting. By now, the pattern was set. Alex came to Horizon almost daily. Sometimes with excuses, new risk analysis, media draft review. Sometimes with none at all. He always arrived with food, or a throw blanket for the sofa, or just his steady presence. The accidental touches had become less accidental. A hand on Noah's lower back when guiding him to sit. Fingers brushing hair from Noah's forehead when he leaned too close to the screen. A palm resting briefly on Noah's shoulder when he sighed in fatigue. Each time, Noah didn't pull away. Each time, Alex lingered a heartbeat longer. And every evening, when Alex finally left, both men carried the ghost of those touches home. That night, after yet another long session that bled into dinner, takeout Thai this time, eaten cross-legged on the office rug because the sofa felt too formal, Alex stayed until the building quieted. Noah yawned, one hand on his belly. "He's active tonight," he murmured. Alex set his chopsticks down. "Let me feel." It wasn't a question this time. Noah hesitated, then nodded. Alex moved closer on the rug until their knees touched. Slowly, reverently, he placed his large hand over the swell of Noah's belly. A firm kick answered immediately. Alex's breath caught. Noah watched his face, saw the wonder, the hunger, the quiet awe. "Alex," Noah whispered. Alex looked up, eyes dark and unguarded. "I'm falling for you, Noah," he said, voice rough. "Not the CEO, not the survivor. You, the man who fell asleep in my office because he's carrying life and still fighting for what's right. The man who trusted me enough to let me sit here and touch his child." Noah's free hand came up to cover Alex's on his belly. "I think," Noah swallowed, "I think I started falling the moment you caught me in your office. When you didn't let go right away. When you looked at me like I was something precious instead of just a pregnant inconvenience." Alex leaned in until their foreheads nearly touched. "Then let me keep catching you," he whispered. "As long as you'll let me." Noah closed the last inch. Their lips met, soft at first, tentative, testing. Then deeper, hungrier, hands sliding to necks, to waists, careful of the baby between them but desperate all the same. When they finally parted, both breathing hard, Noah rested his forehead against Alex's. "We're really doing this," he said, half laugh, half disbelief. Alex pressed a kiss to his temple. "We already are." On the other side, 2 weeks had passed since the divorce papers were shoved into Liam's hands like trash. 2 weeks since Noah walked out and took Horizon Enterprises back under his mother's wing. 2 weeks since Apex started hemorrhaging credibility thanks to anonymous leaks about bid rigging and subcontractor kickbacks. Leaks that smelled suspiciously like the kind of surgical strike only someone with deep pockets and sharper investigators could pull off. And now this. His private investigator slid a slim folder across the desk. "Mr. Hargrove," the man said neutrally, "Alexander Nightfall has been at Horizon headquarters almost every day for the past 10 days, sometimes twice. Meetings run long into dinner hours. Security footage shows them eating together in Noah's private office suite. No one else present." Liam flipped open the folder. Grainy stills. Alex leaning close over documents, hand on Noah's lower back as he guided him to sit. Another. Alex placing a takeout container in front of Noah. Expression softer than Liam had ever seen on the infamous alpha investor. One more. Alex's large hand resting openly on Noah's belly. Noah's hand covering it, both smiling faintly. Liam's jaw clenched so hard his teeth ached. "He's not just investing in the bid," Liam snarled. "He's investing in him." The investigator cleared his throat. "There's more. Nightfall pulled their preliminary commitment from Apex last week. Quietly. No public statement, but our sources say they're now fully aligned with Horizon. Joint press release is being drafted for after the tender award." Liam slammed the folder shut. "That little fool thinks he can replace me? With Nightfall?" He laughed bitterly. "Fine. If Noah wants to play dirty, I'll remind him who taught him the game." He picked up his phone and dialed a number he hadn't used in months. A fixer known for creative solutions in competitive tenders. "Listen carefully," Liam said when the line connected. "The Metro Phase 3 bid opens tomorrow. I need something disruptive. Nothing traceable back to Apex. Make it look like Horizon's proposal has fatal flaws, forged environmental reports, maybe a fabricated community objection petition. Flood the evaluation committee's inboxes. And if that doesn't stick, make sure there's an accident with one of their key supporting documents. Digital or physical. I don't care how. Just make sure Horizon stumbles. Hard." He hung up, staring at the photo of Alex's hand on Noah's belly. "You think you've won him over?" Liam muttered to the empty room. "Enjoy it while it lasts." The next morning, tender submission day. The government evaluation hall was packed. Representatives from every major bidder, government officials, independent auditors, press in the gallery. Noah and Alex sat side by side at the Horizon Nightfall table. Professional, composed, but their chairs were closer than strictly necessary. Under the table, Alex's knee pressed lightly against Noah's, a silent anchor. Liam sat across the aisle with Apex's team, face a mask of calm arrogance. He didn't look at Noah once. He didn't need to. The plan was already in motion. Submissions closed at noon sharp. By evening, Rumors began circulating in the closed-door review rooms. Horizon's environmental impact assessment has inconsistencies. There's a petition from a local NGO claiming community displacement risks were understated. One of the supporting appendices is missing critical data, possibly corrupted file. Noah's phone buzzed during a break. His project director forwarded the whispers. Noah's hand tightened on his phone. Alex noticed immediately. He leaned in, voice low. "What's wrong?" "They're trying to sabotage us," Noah whispered. "The files? Something's off." Alex's eyes darkened. "Liam." Noah nodded once. Alex pulled out his own phone, fired off a text to his security chief. "Already on it. We submitted encrypted duplicates and blockchain-verified originals. If anything's been tampered with, we'll have forensic proof in hours." "And the NGO petition? It's a shell organization, registered 2 days ago. Fake signatures. We'll bury it before morning." Noah exhaled, shoulders relaxing slightly. "You anticipated this?" Alex's gaze softened as it met Noah's. "I anticipated him, and I protect what's mine." The word hung between them, heavy, possessive, tender. Noah's free hand found Alex's under the table. Their fingers laced together. "Thank you," Noah murmured. Alex squeezed once. "Always." 3 days later, tender award announcement. The press conference room was electric. Cameras flashed. Officials stood at the podium. The Phase 3 Metro Extension contract is awarded to the Horizon Nightfall Consortium. Applause erupted. Liam's face went blank, then ashen. He stood abruptly and left without a word, his team scrambling after him. On stage, Noah and Alex accepted the oversized ceremonial check together. Noah spoke first, calm, gracious, crediting the team, the sustainability focus, the community-first approach. When Alex took the mic, he kept it brief. "This win belongs to integrity over shortcuts, to long-term vision over quick profits, and to the man beside me, who never compromised, even when the world tried to break him." He turned to Noah, eyes only for him. The room didn't miss the way Alex's hand brushed Noah's lower back as they stepped off stage. Protective, proud, intimate. Later, in the private green room, away from cameras, Alex pulled Noah into a careful embrace. "You did it," Alex whispered against his temple. "We did it," Noah corrected, voice thick. He rested his forehead against Alex's. "And the baby kicked through the entire announcement. He knows we won." Alex laughed softly, sliding his hand to Noah's belly. A strong kick answered right against his palm. "Smart kid," Alex murmured, already cheering for his dads. Noah's breath hitched at the word. Alex didn't take it back. Instead, he kissed Noah, slow, deep, victorious. Outside, the city celebrated a new future. Inside, 2 men and 1 unborn child stepped into theirs. The victory of the Horizon Nightfall Consortium in securing the Phase 3 Metro Extension contract should have felt like the final nail in Liam's coffin. The press conference photos splashed across every business portal and social feed. Noah standing tall beside Alex, both in sharp suits, Noah's hand subtly resting on his belly while Alex's arm hovered protectively at his lower back. Headlines screamed integrity, innovation, legacy restored. Liam's name appeared only in footnotes. Apex Constructions disqualified amid integrity concerns. A quiet, humiliating erasure. In his darkened study, Liam hurled a crystal decanter at the wall. Shards exploded like his composure. The news played on loop on his massive screen. Alex murmuring something low to Noah offstage, Noah's soft laugh in response, the way their eyes lingered. Liam's knuckles whitened around his phone. "You think you've won him?" He hissed at the frozen image of Noah's smile. "You think you can be happy while I'm rotting in this hell?" He paced, mind racing through options. Legal challenges. Too slow? Media smears, already tried and failed. Direct confrontation, too risky with Alex's security. Then it hit him. The one loose thread Liam had always held as leverage. The one secret he'd engineered but never fully controlled. The night Noah conceived. Liam's lips curled into a cruel smile. If he couldn't destroy Noah's future outright, he could poison the foundation of it. Make Noah question everything. His new life, his new alpha, even the child he carried so protectively. He made the call that night. Find someone who matches the description. Liam instructed the fixer on the other end. Mid-30s, tall, dark hair, generic alpha build. Pay him enough to sell the story convincingly. He needs to approach Noah soon. Claim he was the stranger who entered the hotel room that night. Make it believable. Hazy memories, guilt, wanting to do right now that he knows about the pregnancy. Plant doubt. I want Noah rattled. 2 days later, the plan unfolded. Noah was leaving Horizon headquarters after a light afternoon of reviews. Alex had insisted on driving him home personally these days, but today Alex was tied up in a last-minute investor call. Noah walked alone to the waiting car, one hand on his belly, humming softly to the baby who seemed particularly lively. A man stepped out from behind a pillar in the underground parking. Nondescript suit, nervous fidgeting, eyes darting. "Mr. Noah?" The stranger called, voice trembling just enough to seem authentic. I need to talk to you. It's about that night, 9 months ago, the hotel. I was the one who..." Noah froze mid-step. His heart slammed against his ribs. The baby kicked hard as if in protest. Noah's face remained blank, but inside, something cold and sharp clicked into place. He studied the man. Average height, soft jaw, no trace of the commanding alpha presence he'd always imagined in fleeting nightmares. And the timeline felt rehearsed. "Leave," Noah said quietly. "Before I call security." The man stammered. "But, leave." The stranger backed away, disappearing into the shadows. Noah slid into the car, hands shaking only slightly. He didn't cry. He didn't panic. He investigated. That evening, alone in his office at the estate, Noah reopened the old detective files Mr. Conan had compiled years ago. Hotel security footage, timestamps, lobby cams, every detail Liam had once bragged about in that damning bedroom confession. He cross-referenced the stranger's description against every person who entered or exited the hotel floor that night. Nothing matched perfectly, but one entry caught his eye. A tall, broad-shouldered figure in a dark coat staggering slightly, clearly intoxicated, entering the wrong room number by 1 digit. The timestamp aligned exactly with when Liam had left the suite unlocked and vanished. The man in the footage, unmistakably Alexander Nightfall. Noah's breath caught. He pulled up more. Alex leaving the room hours later, disheveled, angry, scanning the hallway before storming off. No one else entered after that until morning staff. The pieces slammed together. Noah drove straight to Nightfall Tower. Security waved him through without question. Alex's standing order. Alex was in his penthouse office, sleeves rolled, reviewing late reports. He looked up, surprise flickering into concern when he saw Noah's expression. "Noah? What's wrong?" "You should be resting." Noah closed the door behind him. "The night I conceived," Noah said, voice steady. "It wasn't some random stranger Liam hired. It was you." Alex went still. The papers in his hand dropped forgotten to the desk. "How?" "I have the footage. The timestamps. You entered and leave that room." Alex exhaled slowly, running a hand through his hair. "I was furious," he admitted, voice rough. "Someone had drugged me at the bar, strong enough to cloud everything. I stumbled into what I thought was my suite. Woke up beside someone I didn't see your face clearly in the dark. Just warmth. Scent. Then panic hit. I thought I'd been set up for blackmail or worse. I stormed out to find the bastard who'd spiked me. When I returned hours later, the room was empty. I assumed whoever it was had left too. I flew out that afternoon for Shanghai, 3 months away. By the time I returned, the whole thing felt like a bad dream I buried. I never connected it to you. Not until much later." Noah stepped closer. "And now?" Alex met his eyes. Storm gray gone soft, vulnerable in a way Noah had never seen. "Now I know why every time I look at you, something in me recognizes you. Why the baby's kicks feel like home. Why I couldn't walk away after that first meeting." Noah placed both hands on his belly. A strong kick answered, right where Alex's gaze lingered. "The baby knows," Noah whispered. "He's always known." Alex closed the distance in 2 strides, dropping to one knee in front of Noah. Gently, reverently, he pressed his forehead to the swell. "I'm so sorry," he murmured against the fabric, "for not being there, for not realizing sooner. But if you'll let me, I want to be here now, for both of you, as your alpha, as his father. Tears slipped down Noah's cheeks. Not from pain, but from a relief so deep it ached. Noah threaded his fingers through Alex's hair. You already are, he said softly. You've been protecting us since the day you caught me in your office. Since you chose integrity over easy profit. Since you stayed. Alex rose slowly, cupping Noah's face with both hands. Then let me make it official, he whispered. Marry me. Let me claim you, bond us properly. Let our child grow up knowing both his fathers from the start. Noah laughed through tears, bright, free. Yes. Their kiss was slow, deep, tasting of promises kept and futures reclaimed. The baby kicked between them, joyful, insistent, as if sealing the vow. Later, wrapped in each other's arms on the penthouse couch overlooking the city lights, Noah rested his head on Alex's shoulder. Liam tried to ruin this, he murmured. Sent that man to lie to make me doubt. Alex's arm tightened around him protectively. Let him try, Alex said, voice low and dangerous. He lost the bid. He lost you. And now, he's lost any claim on this child forever. Noah smiled against Alex's neck. He never had one to begin with. The city glittered below, untouched by old betrayals, bright with new beginnings. And in Noah's belly, their son kicked again. Strong, certain, ready for the family that had finally found him. The final weeks flew by in quiet anticipation. Noah moved more slowly now, his belly round and heavy at 9 months. Every step measured and deliberate. Alex was never far, guiding him with a steady hand at the small of his back, carrying anything heavier than a teacup, insisting Noah rest every hour even when Noah rolled his eyes and said, I'm pregnant, not made of glass. They spent lazy afternoons in the sunlit nursery they'd painted together. Soft gray walls, white crib with blue accents, tiny mobiles of stars and moons spinning gently overhead. Noah would sit in the rocking chair, one hand tracing slow circles over his abdomen, whispering to the baby while Alex knelt beside him, listening with that quiet, reverent intensity Noah had come to love. You're going to be strong, Noah murmured one afternoon, and kind, and loved so much it'll scare you sometimes. Alex rested his forehead against Noah's belly. A firm kick answered right against his cheek. He laughed softly, the sound rumbling through both of them. He agrees, Alex said, voice thick. Or he's telling me to stop hogging his dad. Noah threaded his fingers through Alex's hair. He's already bossy. Takes after you. They didn't rush anything. No dramatic claiming bites or ceremonies in these last days. Noah was too close to delivery, too full of their child, and the simple truth of their life together felt complete without ceremony. The bond was already there. In every shared glance, every protective touch, every late-night conversation about names and dreams and futures. Then, on a quiet Thursday morning just past dawn, it began. Noah woke with a low, insistent ache that sharpened into the first real contraction. He breathed through it, hand pressed to the side of his belly, waiting to see if it would fade. Didn't. Alex, he said calmly. Alex was awake in an instant, had barely slept the last few nights anyway, attuned to every shift of Noah's breathing. Contractions. Noah nodded, exhaling slowly. They're close. For minutes apart already. Alex moved like he'd rehearsed this 1,000 times. Helped Noah sit up, called the midwife team waiting on standby at the private hospital wing, grabbed the pre-packed bag, and supported Noah down the stairs with infinite care. The drive was smooth, Alex's voice steady as he counted Noah through each wave. Breathe with me, love. And out. You're doing beautifully. At the hospital, everything happened quickly but gently. The suite was private, warm, filled with soft light. Midwives and the obstetrician moved with practiced calm. Noah labored in the birthing tub for a while, water easing the pressure. Alex kneeling beside him, sleeves rolled to his elbows, holding Noah's hands, murmuring constant praise. You're incredible, Alex whispered during the hardest pushes. Strongest person I know. Hours passed in focused effort. Noah's grip on Alex's forearms left bruises neither of them noticed. Then, with one final, determined push and a raw, triumphant cry from Noah, their son was born. A lusty wail split the air. The midwife lifted the tiny, slippery body and placed him immediately on Noah's chest. Skin to skin. Warm. Alive. Real. Noah looked down through tears, chest heaving, and saw dark hair plastered to a small head, tiny fists waving, a perfect little mouth opening in protest at the bright world. "Hello, Elias," Noah whispered, voice breaking on the name. Alex leaned over them, tears streaming freely, pressing shaky kisses to Noah's temple, then to the baby's damp crown. "He's here," Alex choked out. "Our boy." Elias quieted almost at once, nestling against Noah's heartbeat, tiny fingers curling around the edge of the blanket draped over them. His eyes, already a stormy gray like Alex's, blinked up slowly, unfocused but searching. The room fell into a hushed, sacred stillness. Nurses stepped back. The midwife checked vitals quietly, then smiled. "Healthy, perfect, 10 pounds even. Congratulations, dads." Alex cut the cord with trembling hands, then climbed carefully onto the wide bed beside Noah, wrapping his arms around them both. Noah rested his head on Alex's shoulder, Elias cradled securely between their chests. "He has your eyes," Noah said softly, tracing a fingertip over the baby's cheek. "And your nose?" Alex replied, voice rough with emotion. "And your stubborn chin, I bet." They stayed like that for a long time, 3 heartbeats finding the same rhythm. Later, when the initial checks were done and Elias had been weighed, measured, and swaddled in soft blue, they moved to the recovery suite. Sunlight streamed through tall windows. Elias slept in the clear bassinet beside the bed, tiny chest rising and falling under a knit cap. Noah watched him, exhausted but radiant. Alex sat on the edge of the bed, brushing damp strands from Noah's forehead. "You gave us everything," he said quietly. "Thank you." Noah reached up, cupping Alex's face. "We gave each other everything." Alex leaned down, pressing the gentlest kiss to Noah's lips, slow, grateful, full of forever. Outside, the city carried on. Metro lines humming beneath new tracks, skyscrapers catching the morning light, life expanding in every direction. But here, in this quiet room, the world had narrowed to the perfect sound of a newborn's soft breaths, 2 fathers watching over him, and the unspoken promise that nothing would ever take this away. Years later, when Elias was old enough to ask, they would tell him the story with laughter and love. It started with the wrong hotel room on a very drunk night, and it ended with the right family, exactly where we were always meant to be. And Elias, strong, kind, loved beyond measure, would smile, already knowing he was the luckiest boy in the world. 2 years later, the morning news ticker scrolled across the bottom of the living room screen, while Elias stacked colorful blocks into a wobbly tower on the rug. Apex Constructions has officially filed for bankruptcy following a string of government investigations into bid rigging, subcontractor kickbacks, and financial misrepresentation. Former CEO Liam Hargrove now faces multiple civil lawsuits, with sources confirming his personal assets have been frozen pending further proceedings. Industry insiders say the once prominent firm's collapse was accelerated by repeated disqualification from major public tenders, most notably the Phase 3 Metro extension awarded to the Horizon Nightfall Consortium. Noah paused in the kitchen doorway, coffee mug halfway to his lips. He watched the screen for a long moment. Old footage of Liam at a podium, smiling that practiced, charming smile, now juxtaposed with a recent candid shot of him leaving a courthouse, shoulders hunched, alone. Elias looked up, pointing a chubby finger. "Daddy Noah, why is that man on TV sad?" Noah set the mug down and crossed to the rug, lowering himself carefully beside his son. Elias immediately crawled into his lap, blocks forgotten. "Because he made some very bad choices a long time ago, little star," Noah said softly, brushing dark curls from Elias's forehead. "Choices that hurt people. But we don't have to carry that sadness. We have each other, and that's what matters." Alex appeared from the hallway, sleeves rolled, still damp from Elias's morning bath. He took one look at the screen, then at Noah's calm expression, and crossed the room in 3 strides. Without a word, he sank onto the rug behind Noah, legs bracketing them both, arms wrapping around Noah's waist and Elias in one protective circle. His chin rested on Noah's shoulder as he pressed a slow kiss to the side of Noah's neck. Everything okay? Alex murmured, low enough that only Noah would hear. Noah leaned back into him, eyes still on the muted television. Everything's perfect. On screen, the anchor moved on to the next story. A ribbon-cutting ceremony for the newest metro extension line. The camera panned across smiling families, children waving flags, and then lingered on Noah and Alex. Both in sharp suits, Elias, then 1.5, perched on Alex's hip, tiny hand clutching Noah's finger. The headline read, Horizon Nightfall secures Phase 5 contract, commitment to sustainable urban growth continues. Alex's hand slid to Noah's abdomen, still flat for now, but they both knew the second heartbeat that had been confirmed just last week. He rubbed slow, soothing circles there, the same way he had every night since the news came. Across the city, in a dim, half-empty apartment on the edge of downtown, Liam sat on the floor amid unpacked boxes. The television flickered the same news channel, volume low. He hadn't bothered to turn on any lights. The eviction notice lay open on the coffee table beside a stack of court summons. Harry had left over a year ago, slipped out one night with a suitcase and a single line texted, "You promised we'd be set for life. You lied." Liam's parents had stopped answering calls months before that. The family name, once a quiet source of pride in certain circles, now carried only whispers of disgrace. He stared at the frozen image on screen. Noah laughing, head thrown back, Alex's arm around his waist, Elias reaching for his father's face with both hands. The kind of happiness that looked effortless, earned. Liam's fingers tightened around the remote until the plastic creaked. He had planned everything so carefully. The adoption, the marriage, the drunken hotel night, the unlocked door, the stranger he never even met. Every move calculated to keep Noah bound, blind, and useful, while Liam took what he truly wanted. And yet here he was, broke, alone, blacklisted from every major bid in the city. While Noah, that fool, had walked away with the empire, the mate, the child that should have been nothing more than leverage, and now carried another. Liam exhaled a bitter laugh that sounded more like a choke. He had engineered the perfect trap. Instead, he had handed Noah everything Liam had ever craved and could never hold. The screen cut to commercial. Liam didn't move. Outside, the city hummed on. Metro trains gliding beneath streets he once thought he'd own. Lights glittering over a skyline half-built by the man he'd tried to break. In the bright, jasmine-scented living room miles away, Elias knocked over his tower with a delighted squeal. Blocks scattered like colorful confetti. Alex caught one midair and handed it back to him with exaggerated seriousness. "Build it again, little architect. Make it taller than last time." Elias beamed, already reaching for more pieces. Noah watched them. His alpha, his son, the life growing inside him, and felt the last faint echo of old pain dissolve like smoke. He turned his face into Alex's neck, breathing in cedarwood and home. "Thank you," he whispered. Alex pressed lips to his temple. "For what, love? For catching us. For never letting go." Alex's arms tightened. Always. Outside, the metro train passed in the distance. Smooth, steady, unstoppable. A new line, a new legacy. And inside, 3 heartbeats, soon to be 4, moved in perfect rhythm. The past was ashes. The future was theirs. The end. If you like this story, don't forget to like and share it with your friends. Your support helps my channel grow. My beautiful heavenly angels, I'll see you again in the next story.